Best thing I learned today. The loud American role in Japanese businesses. Nobody asked, but Imam explained anyway. No idea how it came up, but my programming prof was talking about his friend, who works for Nintendo Japan, whose secondary role is the loud American, and my prof explained what that was and how it came about. See, in Japan you do not talk back to your boss, you just don't, even if they have stupid ideas and want the company to act on them, like Nissan did some time back. But since the other employees couldn't do anything about this terrible idea that would ruin the company, they called in an American who had no reservations about telling the boss that their stupid idea was a stupid idea, and that's just become a role in Japanese businesses where they keep an American on staff who plays up the American stereotype and tells the boss what the Japanese employees can't or won't out of societal norms. Dream job. How much do they pay per hour for me to sit around and every so often storm into the boss's office and call his ideas stupid as F? Modern day court jester. I just saw a really chunky raccoon on my way home from work. Artist's rendition. My immediate reaction was to yell chunky boy, despite the fact I was the only one in the car. This has the positive, opposite energy of my day today when I passed a Canadian goose, rolled the window down, and called it a bee. Fun fact. My cat and I are both blind, so we accidentally run into each other sometimes, but because I'm much louder than he is, when we get close to each other he chirps to warn me he's there. Thank you for sharing. This is beautiful solidarity. So I find out my friends and I are on our local news website. We were asked all these questions about how long the costumes took us, how we did it, etc. I paused the video right when we were asked how much money we spent on our cosplays, and does that give you your answer? This will never not be funny. Randomly materializes out of a murder of crows with a Slurpee in my hand. Hey guys, what's up? 40 bats coalescing into an approximate human form, holding a Gatorade. Not much, how about you? 5 wolves make their presence known with a piercing howl before joining in the circle. They clutter together and take the form of a human with a rice coffee. Sup. Emerges from the back exit of Dairy Queen to take out the garbage. My boss said you're not allowed to hang out back here. True crime is becoming to girls what World War II is to boys. Boy who knows too much about Russia and World War II. Girl who knows too much about serial killers. Relevant Twitter meme. I saw this post earlier about therapists, and it reminded me of my old therapist Paul, who in my opinion is one of the greatest men alive, and who did not put up with my bull-s for even 1 second. Anyway, I go in to see Paul one week in the summer of 2016, and I'm doing my usual bull-s, which consists of me talking shit about myself, and Paul is staring at me, and then he cuts me off and says that he's got a new tool for helping people recognize when they're using negative language, and gets up and goes over to his desk. And I'm like, alright, hit me with that sweet self-help article, my man, because I'm a linguistic learner, and whenever Paul's like, here I have a tool for you to use, it's pretty much always an article, or a book, or something. Paul opens a drawer, takes something out, and turns back around. I stare. I say, Paul, is that a Nerf gun? My therapist. I have a new tool for helping patients recognize negative thoughts. Yeah, says Paul. I say, are you gonna shoot me with a Nerf gun in this professional setting? He happily informs me that that's really up to me, isn't it? And sits back down and gestures like, go ahead, what were you saying? And I squint suspiciously and start back up about how I'm having too much anxiety to leave the house to run errands, like it was a miracle to even get here, like I've foregone getting groceries for the past week, and that's so stupid. What a stupid issue. I'm an idiot. How could I? A foam dart hits me in the leg. I go, hey, because my therapist just shot me in the leg. Paul blinks at me placidly and raises an eyebrow. I squint again. I say, slowly, it's not a stupid issue. I'm not stupid, but it's frustrating me, and I don't want it to be a problem I'm having. No doubt this time. Okay, sweet. So the rest of the hour passes with me intermittently getting mailed with tiny foam darts, and then swearing, and then fixing my language, and, wouldn't you know it, I start liking myself a little more by the end of the session, which is mildly infuriating, because Paul can tell, and he's very smug about it. Anyway, I leave his office, and the lady having the next appointment walks in, and I hear what's all over the floor, and Paul very seriously says cognitive behavioral therapy tools. The ad block we deserve. Till after Amelia Earhart's plane was presumed lost, all subsequent distress calls were treated as hoaxes. Recent research concluded, however, that half of the calls, many of which were received by amateur radio operators, were credible, indicating that she may have survived 4 weeks after the crash. So you're saying one of the most famous missing dead woman was none of those things and just being ignored? Them. Amelia Earhart forever disappeared in her plane crash. Amelia, on the radio. I'm still here. Them. Sometimes we can still hear her voice. I'm standing at the bus stop and some high schoolers were trying to decipher the new timetable before eventually saying, I don't know, ask the witchy goth lady, before promptly turning to me and saying, excuse me ma'am, when's the next bus? This is it, I finally reached peak aesthetic. I'm the local witch and I'm not even wearing a hat. I should buy a hat. I was a professional juggler for like 5 years, and all of my friends politely pretend it never happened. Sometimes I will be holding 3 or more similarly sized objects, and they will all shoot me the kind of warning glances, typically reserved for cats, who are about to swipe a fresh and crispy fish stick from a small child's hand. I gaze wistfully at a basket of apples, and they all think, don't you fucking dare so hard, that I take psychic damage. You have not experienced true fear until a poster falls down in the middle of the night. One time I thought a poster had fallen down in the middle of the night, but when I turned on my light, it actually was an opossum that fell through my ceiling into my room. So, that's actually true fear. Oh. The royal family employs no bodyguards. A would-be assassin discovers why. Please, the crown prince said hopefully. The assassin hesitated. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this. Come on, you're doing great. Just one stab, it'll be easy peasy. The prince spread his arms wide, leaving his throat and chest vulnerable. Look, I'm going to level with you, the assassin said. I took this contract on the assumption that you were a bad dude. Usually, when a country goes bankrupt this fast, it's because whoever's in charge is raiding the treasury. But once I infiltrated the guard, I actually had to spend time around you, and you're just. The assassin threw her hands up in disgust. You're a really nice person. There's no getting around it. So I'm not super on board with murdering you now. Nothing personal. But if you don't, my sisters won't get the life insurance payout, and the country will be in debt for the next century. I'm pretty sure arranging for your own assassination is insurance fraud. Your whole job is to commit murder, the prince said, and now you're worried about a little insurance fraud? The assassin pinched the bridge of her nose. Okay, let's back up and think about this rationally. Have you considered faking your own death? This was not what I was expecting, and it is glorious. Younger sibling mindset is genuinely enjoying watching someone else playing video games for hours on end. Depression. No do thing. Tired. Me. Okay well, maybe if I go to sleep super duper early, I'll get a decent amount of sleep. Insomnia. You fool. You absolute goddamn idiot. Insomnia. You are awake. Me. Okay well, maybe now I can get some stuff done. Depression. You fool. You absolute goddamn idiot. My cat just squashed himself into the funniest position I've ever seen, but I couldn't get my phone to take a pic without moving him, so I drew it. I was playing around with my camera, and I took this, and I can't stop laughing.